Good morning, P7. Okay, so for these next couple of weeks, we're going to be looking at poetry as our new topic in literacy. And one of the poems we're going to look today is a type of poem, is humour poems. And so obviously humour means funny. And so Mr. Keaton is going to read a poem to you today entitled Christmas Thank Yous. And you can follow along with us on the screen behind. So in this poem, they think about the worst Christmas presents that you can get and the best ones. So I wonder, what was your worst Christmas present that you got this year? Or maybe you don't want to reveal that secret. I'm going to hand over to Mr. Keaton now, who's going to read this poem. And I want you to think about the humour as he reads verse 1.
Fantastic. Okay. Dear Auntie, oh, what a nice jumper. I've always adored powder blue. And fancy you thinking of orange and pink for the stripes. How clever of you.
Oh, wait a second there, Mr. Keaton.
Yes?
Did I hear some features in there? What do you think appears in that poem that's a traditional kind of feature?
Rhyming words.
Yes, definitely. Where do you spot the rhyming words, Mr. K?
Well, rhyming words are normally at the end of the line.
Yeah.
But in this poem there's only two. The third line and the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th line.
Oh, wow.
Blue
So what are
and
the... Yeah, blue and you rhyme. That's right. Read me the second verse there, please, and let's see if the same pattern occurs.
Yes, Mrs. McCabe. Okay. Dear Uncle, the soap is terrific. So useful and such a kind thought. And how did you guess that I'd used up the last of the soap that last Christmas brought?
Ooh, check. Is the rhyming on the third and the last line again, Mr. Keaton?
It was definitely on the last line because it's brought, but that rhymed with thought, which was on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th line.
Oh, I wonder what that is. I wonder, is it just the picture that has made the writer change it that way? Let's check on verse 3.
Okay. Dear Gran, many thanks for the hankies. Now I really can't wait for the flu. And the daisies embroidered in red round the M for Michael. How thoughtful of you.
Ooh, rhyming words I can hear, flu and you, right?
Yes.
And where do they appear? Third and last?
3rd and 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 8th, isn't it?
Yeah, so maybe it's just on the third line and the last line then, maybe not necessarily the third and the 6th.
Yes.
But I do think these pictures are interfering with it a little bit, because you've got also, in addition to your rhyme, you've got rhythm going on there, because it's kind of like a song as you say it. Okay, just read us the rest of the poem. I know there's more, I'll not interrupt you this time. And boys and girls, just enjoy.
Mr. McCabe, I also noticed that the poems don't all go to the end of the line. The lines sometimes stop, they're all different lengths.
Oh, yes.
And every line starts with a capital letter. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. That's completely wrong. Some of them do and some of them don't.
Well, each verse does. Do you know what? Each verse also starts with like a letter. Dear Auntie, dear Uncle, dear Gran. So these are almost written as Christmas thank you letters.
So your repetition there. Okay. Dear cousin, what socks and the same sort you wear, so you must be the last word on style. And I'm certain you're right that the luminous green will make me stand out a mile. Dear sister, I quite understand your concern. It's a risk sending jam in the post, but I think you've poured out all the big bits of glass, so I won't taste too sharp to spread on toast. Dear Grandad, don't fret, I'm delighted, so don't think your gift will offend. I'm not at all hurt you gave up this year, and just send me a £5 to spend.
Oh, I like the fiver, you're right. Okay, so yeah, definitely that pattern I can see following through. They all start with dear whoever. They definitely still have the rhyme on the third and the last lines. So that's good. And you're right, it doesn't really matter how many lines are in between on that wee bit either.
Each verse is a bit like in your narrative writing. Each verse is about a certain thing, it's a certain topic. So each verse is about a different member of the family and a different gift. And each gift, they explain why the gift is not satisfactory. Why the gift is a bit silly. For example, the jam has broken bits of glass in it, or the socks are luminous green.
Yeah, so that's where the humour comes out.
Yes.
That's why it's a humorous poem, because although they're being forced to say thank you, it's probably their parents that forced them to say these thank you letters, they kind of have to pretend they want the unwanted gift, and kind of have to, but though, like, you know it's unwanted, but they've put it nicely.
They're also being very sarcastic, aren't they? That's the word I would use.
Now, there is formal language in here, I noticed, Mr. Keaton, as well. So there are things that you would traditionally associate with a letter. So, dear sister, we've talked about. But we've also got words like, I'm certain. You know, these are like formal words that you would say. I'm delighted.
Many thanks.
Yes, many thanks, that's right. Those are all things that you traditionally put into letters. So that's how we know that this poet is writing in the style of a letter. So it's kind of a mix of a load of different types of language features really in this. But what we want you guys to do today is to think of some unwanted Christmas gifts. Now, the things that you maybe have had in the past or things that you've heard other people getting. So things like, would a person with a really big hairy beard want a aftershave? No, they won't, because that's something that you put on after you shave. So they're not really going to use that, are they? Or it might be a football pump for somebody that never plays football. But they would have to write then a thank you letter to say thank you, even though they don't really mean it. So over the next few days, we're going to be looking at this poem. It's going to be on your Google Classroom account. So just have a look at it again. Today we only want you to think about some unwanted gifts and some types of formal language you can use in letters, but you'll need to do that planning stage to be able to do tomorrow's activity. So good luck.
Fantastic.